Hello again, Mick talking all things vintage paperbacks and pulps and digest books from all around the world, from the late 40s through to the, I don't know, mid 60s, really. Anything really I collect. So welcome back. Thanks for everyone for subscribing and liking the previous videos. I'm going to keep going and going through my collection steadily, and hopefully giving you something to look at and maybe things you want to collect yourself, and get you interested in books and artwork and different authors and artists. And that's my job. It's a little job, but I'm sort of doing it. So today I'm going to go back to America with my collection, the complete set of Rainbow books, published in New York by Magazine Publications, started in 1951 and then completed in 1953. Only 30 books in the series, from 101 right the way up. And they are fantastic books. And I've got the whole set. I've had the whole set quite a few years now. And I started collecting them way back, probably 15 years ago. It took me a little while to get the set, but I got them all eventually. So yes, that's what we're going to go through today. Hope you enjoy it. Rainbow Digest books. They started off a bit of a romancy thing, and they ended up being a little bit daring towards the end. But yeah, come with me. Let's have a little look at Rainbow Books Digest editions, 1951 to 53. Wow. Let's go. Right, here we go. Rainbow Books. The whole set of 30 from 1951 through to 1952. Staggering artwork and wonderful books. All digest size, so slightly bigger than your normal paperbacks, and containing what can only be described as brilliant artwork. I've read a few of these and they are quite good. They're not so much in the noir feel as the Falcon books, but they've certainly got some great crime titles in here, good thrillers, but you've got to look at the artwork really. Anyway, let's start with number 101, which was the first in the series, Thrill Girl. This copy's in pretty good shape, apart from that horrible pen just on the top of her head. But apart from that, there's no spines on these. They're like little magazines really. And on the back you get this typical rainbow look with the colophon down the bottom, rainbow romance on this particular one, Thrill Girl, best in exotic fiction. And inside, just quickly before I go through the whole set, there's Reno Tramp, the next one to be the next one in the line of books to be published, all posed by professional models. Yeah, I mean it's yeah, I suppose risky, a little bit risky, but this one's in pretty good condition. Artwork on the front, I do believe it's Hal Dodd, not signed, but I'm 95% sure that's Hal Dodd. But yeah, that's the first in the series, Thrill Girl by Jean Harvey. It was actually a pseudonym that Jack Handley used. Again, 1951, number 101, Thrill Girl. And they're both smoking, which isn't cool anymore, apparently. Okay, 102, Reno Tramp. I mean, I'm sure she, her mum and dad love her, but I'm just a bit wicked to call her that. But anyway, a sort of a gambling type effect here by Florence Stonebreaker. Number 102, June 1951. This was published. And there's your rainbow colophon down the bottom, but no signature. I don't know. It could be Hal Dodd, it could be George Gross. I don't know. But let's just enjoy the fact that he's showing her his hand, and his other hand is in her hand, which is all very confusing. But anyway, that's Reno Tramp, number 102. And again on the back, Gay Divorce, and at the bottom you've got a rainbow romance. Here we go. Number 103. I've had a few copies of this over the years. Wild is the Woman. For me, it's Hal Dodd, not signed. By Laura Hale. Rainbow Books 103. 1951. That's a pseudonym used by Lorenz F. Heller. Laura Hale. And that is pretty good artwork. Come on. Absolutely beautiful. Again, all inside, it's all posed by professional models. Queen of Passion, and then you've got your rainbow romance at the bottom. So again, we're not talking about thrillers and crime noir so much here. We're talking about sort of romance, sleazy stuff at the time. So if you imagine you're walking past the train station kiosk in 1951 and you're a gentleman of an age and you see that book on the newsstand, you are going to part with your 35 cents very, very quickly. I know I would, and that's why I bought it. I bought it a couple of times actually, just to improve my copy. But this is a very, very near mint copy of Wild is the Woman. You can tell George Gross's artwork, and this is George Gross, Moment of Rapture. Again, I think he's either helping her dress or he's trying to undress her. Let's go for the latter. Again, number 104, John Barmer is the author here, an artwork by George Gross, 1951, in a hayloft. What more do you want? And she looks very pleased with herself that she's in a hayloft. Don't tell her there's probably rats and mice in there. They'll probably scare her. Next one on the list is number 105, and this is Four Dames Named Sin. A beautiful artwork. Again, smoking's bad. It seems to be very cool in the 50s for all the kids. This is artwork by Rudy Nappy. Yeah, it's quite easy to spot Rudy Nappy. Even without a signature, you can just tell by her eyes and the way she's drawn. But absolutely beautiful. And there's Rudy Nappy's signature just down the bottom there by her skirt. Having a drink, having a smoke. Four Dames Named Sin. That's 105, 1951. Absolutely beautiful. And on the back, we're still on Rainbow Romance. That was what they were sticking with at the moment. And then they go on to Rainbow Books in a while. Her name was Sin. Bless her. Again, George Gross artwork on the next one. Nora's No Angel. Number 106. Typical George Gross. Really beautifully painted woman. Tom Stone's the author here. It was actually a pseudonym used by Florence Stonebreaker. 1951, number 105. Nora's No Angel. Again, we're talking about sort of a rainbow romance. There's George Gross's artwork, just signature just on the bottom. But yeah, that's how you draw a seductive lady. And there he is smoking a pipe. What a catch. Anyway, she seems quite pleased with herself. And then we're getting into some really good stuff now. Street of Dark Desires by Mark Reed. Again, it's still a rainbow romance. But I would say it's getting a little bit more risque. I would definitely go with Hal Dodd on the artist on this one, even though, again, it's not signed. Number 107. By Mark Reed, which is a pseudonym used by Norman A. Daniels, 1951. A lady of the night, I would guess, hanging out the window, smoking a cigarette, trying to seduce this poor fella into parting with money. I don't know. But yeah, Street of Dark Desires. So very risque title. Again, if you were walking past a kiosk as a gentleman of an age, you would buy that because that cover just jumps out and says, "Buy me." Wow. Fantastic. Next one in the little list, we've got Passion Has Red Lips. Hal Dodd artwork. I'm 99% sure. Again, not signed, but I would definitely go for Hal Dodd. Number 108 in the series, 1951 by R.R. McCullum. And again, we've still got that little colophon down there with Rainbow Romance. Wow. That is how you draw a young lady in 1951. And he looks very pleased with himself, doesn't he? Yeah. Passion as red lips. Once a woman has loved, she can never stop wanting. Never a truer word said in jest. Anyway, on to Her Candle Burns Hot. Again, we're talking about a artwork I would consider to be by Hal Dodd. I'm pretty sure, I'm 97% sure on this one. He loved doing those threaded laces through the blouses and dresses and stuff. That was sort of his thing. He did like to put tings on the gold and silver, but yeah, Hodge Evans, which is a pseudonym used by Dean Owen, Candle Burns Hot. And now we've gone to, on the colophon, if you just spot down, we've gone to Rainbow Book. So they've dropped the romance and just gone to Rainbow Book. Number 109. And what a lovely piece of artwork that is. Again, both smoking. They didn't get the email. It's bad for you. And on the back, another smoker. Come Back, My Love. Best in exotic fiction. And you go to the back here and the colophon still says Rainbow Romance. So we've got a bit of a mix up there. And then we're on to Sleepy Time. Oh, blimey, I dropped that. That was a noise, wasn't it? Sleepy Time Honey. Most of my books in the Rainbow series are in really good condition, and I was a bit fussy about these when I started collecting them many, many years ago. This one, I could do with an upgrade on this. It's got some little marks on the front, but I'm happy. Redhead woman. Looks like some sort of gang motorcycle. There's a motorcycle parked just out the back of this little hayloft. He's got all the studded belt and everything. Really cool cover. Again, in my opinion, it's Hal Dodd. This is written by Catherine Culver, who was actually a pseudonym used by Davis Dresser. So a very, very well-respected author. She's got a motorcycle belt on as well. They're both smoking in a hayloft. My goodness, that's a health and safety risk. I need to shut that down. But again, number 110, Rainbow Book. And on the back, we've still got Rainbow Romance. Marry for Money. This is the thing about smoking. Just every girl and every bloke smokes on all these. It's not good if you're trying to give up. I do apologise if you're trying to give up and I keep going on about it. Anyway, Walk the Evil Street. Now, if you wanted to encompass everything about artwork in the early 50s on these sort of pulpy paperbacks, digest books, that's it. She's holding her bottom cheeks very seductively. He is mesmerised as she smokes a cigarette, as usual. And this is by David Wade. It was a pseudonym used by Norman A. Daniels at the time. And what can you say about that? It's uncredited, this artwork. I don't know. I don't think it's Hal Dodd. It could be George Gross, but there's no signature that I can see there. So it's uncredited. But wow. Just wow. Walk the Evil Street. I would suggest that she's quite evil, and he's got a bit of an evil look as well. So I think they're both at it. And then when you go to the back of this one, for the first time, we just have Rainbow Book. So they finally caught on to the fact they were still using the wrong colophon on the back. Dynamite in Skirts. Oh, wow. Here we go. Red-Headed Wench by Tom Stone. I don't know what to say, really. You've got the geezer at the back here hiding with his pistol. A daring novel of violent passions and female abandon. And there's the poor gentleman outside saying, shall I come in for a quick cup of tea? And she's coming in. Yes, come on in. Nothing going on here. And then I'm looking all seductive for you. And that is just wonderful artwork. It's not credited. 99% sure that's Hal Dodd. And that is how you draw seductive looking ladies in 1952, because we're on to 1952 now. And you've got to say, that's a mind-blowing cover. Absolutely brilliant. Red-Headed Wench, number 112. Ooh. Oh. Play Rough by Rick Wayne. This is number 113 now. Again, I'm pretty sure it's Hal Dodd. In fact, I'm 99% sure it's Hal Dodd. There's that lace through her top of her dress. He loved doing that. The red hair, the guy smoking a cigarette. Again, they're both smoking. This is ridiculous. Their health must be just all over the place. Anyway, this is by Rick Wayne. I don't know if that's a pseudonym, but I think it's just Rick Wayne. A sensational novel of a rat who wanted a woman to share with his underworld rivals. Oh dear. Play Rough. That is top notch, if I don't mind saying. And on the back, Rainbow Books, Song of Love. They've gone from Play Rough to the Song of Love. Anyway, it must have worked. Again, if you're walking past a kiosk or a newsagent's in 1952 and you saw Tease the Wild Flame, I would be getting my 35 cents out before you could say Tease the Wild Flame. Because that, again, by Hal Dodd, that artwork is ridiculous. Camper van scenes, you've got to your sort of your mobile homes, if you like. You certainly didn't get this at Hemsby when I used to go years ago. She's beckoning him inside into her little caravanette. A whirlpool of hate, love, desire and death. That's the blurb at the bottom. And there's Hal Dodd. Again, oh no, she's not smoking, just him. So we've just got one smoker now. Wonderful. That's how you draw women in the early 50s. Hal Dodd knew, George Gross, Hal Dodd, they knew how to do it. And that's impressive, to say the least. We're rattling through them now. We are back with George Gross, artwork, Carnival of Passion, 1952, number 115, by Val Monroe. Really nice artwork, George Gross. This copy's not too great. It's got a few creases here and there. Rainbow Books down the bottom. There's your George Gross signature on the bottom left. Suspense, passion and horror run rampant under the big top. So a nice funfair, sleazy thriller. A dynamic new novel by Val Monroe. And really nice artwork by George Gross. She seems very upset that he's probably cheating on her. That's not a goodbye hug, is it? Let's be honest. Her legs come up at the back. Dear oh dear. But yeah, I could do with an upgrade on that copy, but I'm happy. Oh my goodness. She Walks by Night. By David Wade, number 116. You can see at the top there, Rainbow number 116. She seems to be thumbing a lift. I don't think she's going to be waiting too long. I think the first car that comes along, I think it's going to pick her up. I love this blurb at the bottom. I've just got to read it out to you. How would you feel if one morning you woke up to discover two things? One, your wife was dead. And two, she'd been a prostitute. It's not exactly what you want to wake up to, is it? I'd rather wake up to a cup of coffee and a slice of toast myself. But anyway, that is how you draw a woman in 1952. She's smoking. Let's excuse that. But what a wonderful piece of artwork. And the 1950s cars, I'm not sure what the car is. But yeah, that's how you do it. David Wade, Norman A. Daniels. This is number 116, 1952. She Walks by Night. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. This one seems to be snuck in the wrong order. So we'll carry on with 117. I'm always doing that. Bedroom in Hell, 117. Really, a bit of a fun one, this, really. Sort of going back to their sort of romancy days. Bedroom in Hell, very attractive blonde woman. George Gross is the artist. You can see just down the bottom there. An alcoholic ex-DA, a woman of the streets in a beautiful frame of murder. But a really fun looking cover, that. Again, if you'd seen that, you'd buy it. It's bright. It's saying buy me. It's got a very attractive woman doing her suspender belt there. Gentleman looks very interested in that. Number 117 by Norman A. Daniels. Bedroom in Hell. Really nice. Really nice. Kiss of Fire by Laura Hale. Number 118. Laura Hale was a pseudonym that was used by Lorenz F. Heller. Very well drawn, redhead, voluptuous girl on the front there, trying to entice the fellow out. He's just getting a pack of cigarettes in the car, and really nice. Book's in pretty good condition as well. Again, I'd go for Hal Dodd as the artist, but it's really hard to tell. But yeah, really nice. Kiss of Fire, again, on the back here, we've got Rainbow Books and some sort of posed by professional models on the back. Kiss of Fire. From 1952. Joyride. Again, it's George Gross artwork. You can see his signature bottom left. A brand new novel by Roger Treat. Joyride. I sort of worked out this is in a cinema. You can see the chairs going back, and there's looks like an army guy there trying to get her to sit back down again. Not the most eye-catching of George Gross artwork. It's a bit dull. And again, if you're trying to sell books, you need to, amongst all the other magazines and books that were available. Remember, people didn't have internet. I know it's hard to believe, but no phones, mobile phones. There was no internet. Television was a luxury for most Americans. So you had books and magazines and comics and the cinema. That was your only outpourings that you could get where you actually see something amazing. And this doesn't capture it. Still very nice, number 119, Rainbow Book, and it's very well drawn by George Gross. It's a lovely bit of artwork, but not the best, as in to capture your imagination. But still, and there's the back there. Heroes Welcome. Best and exciting reading, Rainbow Books, and there's the young couple in love on the top there, posed by professional models, as they always are. Okay, getting towards the end now, only a few to go. We're up to number 120, 1952. This is The Nude Stranger. Now, along with all these book companies, they try and different artists, they try and different things, and this just does not work. This actual book was banned in Australia. There's a little bit of sidebar for you. Number 120 was banned in Australia. The Nude Stranger. I think it was banned because the artwork was so bad. I could draw better. I could draw a better woman than that. I mean, it wasn't. The hair's completely wrong. Not the best Rainbow Book. Number 120. Mark Reed was the author, and that was a pseudonym used by Norman A. Daniels. I mean, it's okay, but not great. Number 120. Yeah, but they pull it back now. George Gross is back in the room with 7 Hungry Men. Again, this copy is a really tough one to find. It goes for big money. It's George Gross artwork. You can just see his signature just underneath the colophon on Rainbow Books. Wow. Yeah, she looks like trouble. He looks like trouble. He's got a knife in his hand, an empty bottle of gin or whatever he's been drinking, vodka. She's obviously on the sauce as well. And George Gross knew how to capture a scene, and that is like top notch. 7 Hungry Men. My copy's a little bit creased here and there, but it's intact, and I bought it for decent money. If you try and buy one of these now, you are talking a fair sum of money to buy this particular book. By Lionel White, at number 120, by Mark Reed again. This book was also banned in Australia as well, I do believe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, George Gross artwork and quite a saucy back as well. There you go. Not in the bargain. At least, I suppose there's one. She might be sort of semi-naked, but I mean, at least she's not smoking. Little wins and all that. Anyway, The Madam Who Blushed. Yeah. I'm not sure who the artist is, but I'm going to go with Hal Dodd because that's my guess. That's my go-to guesstimate, as you might have noticed. Rainbow Books, number 122 from 1952. The Madam Who Blushed. Again, I've got a bit of a crease going across there, but still, I love it. It's by Terry O.K. Burleson, and 6 dames wanted Johnny, but 5 wanted him dead. Poor old Johnny. She'll catch her death up on that roof. But very, very nice artwork. The Madam Who Blushed. Really nice. Vice Cop. Again, a great looking book. Really does capture your eye. By Mark Reed. It's a Johnny Murdoch novel, this one. That must have been the cop that he was going for. And he really does need to put a shirt on, bless him. Yeah, it's got a name going across her shoulder there. But a great artwork by Hal Dodd. Look at the tings on her earring. There's that blouse with the lace going through it. But she looks like she's really an interesting character. But he just looks like there's like a mouse in his head on a wheel, and there's like nothing really going on. She's probably seducing him with some, "Why don't you come to bed, honey?" And he's thinking, "Where did I put my shirt? Where's my shirt?" He looks a bit bemused by the whole thing. But anyway, Vice Cop. Really nice rainbow book, number 123 by Mark Reed, who was Norman A. Daniels. Yeah, really nice. And a tough one to find now. Really tough. You can get the Australian version. I've seen that a few times. But yeah, quite a tough book to find. And on the back here, Murder in a House of Sin, with a professionally posed model. Right, just 7 to go. And that's the whole set, all done. Bedroom with a View by David Wade. Again, George Gross artwork. There's a lady painting her toenails. I don't know what she sees in him. He doesn't look like much of a catch to me. Every woman who dared to love him turned up as a corpse in his bedroom. Great artwork by George Gross, really nice. But again, it doesn't. It's nice. It's not the best artwork. But it's very nice. But if I was you, love, I'd get out of there because that blurb at the top tells me you might not last too long. Anyway, that's number 124 in the series, 1952. Mark Reed, David Wade, excuse me, Norman A. Daniels. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. On the back, 3 generous women. And a bit of blurb. Anyway. On to my favourite piece of artwork in the whole series. It's not by Hal Dodd, you'll be pleased to hear. This is by Harry Barton. Oh my Lord. When I first saw this book, I've completed this set probably 10 years ago now. So I've been collecting these books for a long time. When I first saw this book and realised it was out there in the series, I was desperate to find it. And you can tell by my copy, apart from that little letter at the top in the little R on the T, which is rather annoying, and there's Harry Barton's signature just down the bottom. That is amazing artwork. Straight away, your eye. I know you're going to say, "Oh, just looking at the cleavage," or the cleavage is there. We can't get away from that. But your eye instantly goes to that part of the book. It's not about the title. It's about the imagery and about the fact that this Harry Barton has painted. Without even seeing most of her face, you're literally thinking, "Oh Lord, where's my 35 cents? I need to buy that book." And it's a great piece of art. Tender-Hearted Harlot, number 125. It don't get no better than that, ladies and gents. It don't get no better than that. She-Devil. By Robert Turner. George Gross artwork. Just can't quite make out his signature, but that little green tick at the end is George Gross. Yeah, nice looking cover by Mr. Gross. It probably would have sold some volume back in the day. She-Devil, she's very tempting him with some straw in her mouth, and he's having a sandwich, thinking, "Oh, just leave me alone, love, for goodness sake." Anyway, yeah, nice looking book. It's in pretty decent nick as well, my one here. That's probably what I paid for it, $25 back in the day. And a bit of a saucy lady at the back here, Lorelei in modern dress. Here we go. The Big Woman. Again, Harry Barton artwork. Really, really nice. By Mel Colton. 1953 now. In this Rainbow Book Series, number 127. And really nice artwork by Harry Barton. I'm sure his signature's there somewhere. I'm not sure where it might be. But yeah, it's been attributed to Harry Barton, and it really is superb, as I'm sure you'll all agree. And he's trying to, I don't know if he's a vampire or not, but he likes her neck. The nights in Panama are hot and dangerous, just like the women. I've never been to Panama. Don't think I ever will. Anyway, just 3 to go. Let's put that one up there. The Twist by Norma Dan. Yeah, really nice artwork. Very attractive redhead lady. Yeah, it's really well drawn. It's a bra just draped over the back of the chair. Very seductive. Norma Dan, obviously Norman A. Daniels. That was a pseudonym he used in 1953 for The Twist. Really nice book. Really nice artwork. Yeah, 2 dangerous men, 2 lovely women in the deadly game of change your partners. Oh, lordy lord, their wife swapping in 1953. What's the world come to? Anyway, a delicate problem as they're all swapping wives. So quite risky stuff for 1953, and you can see why gentlemen and boys, schoolboys of an age, would try and buy something like that. There's no age limit to buying that. Only Human. 129. So just 2 to go. This is the penultimate one. Really nice artwork as well. Really nice. Norman Daniels again, under his pseudonym David Wade. He's come home. "Honey, I'm home. I've been in the fields all day." And she's thinking, "Oh goodness, I just want to wash EastEnders." But anyway, here he comes. Bless him. Not a bad looking copy. He's got a few creases here and there, but quite a tough one to find. Like all the Rainbow books, extremely hard to find now, especially in good condition. So I was very pleased to get this one. And yeah, females all around him, apparently. Wouldn't leave him alone. Okay, the very last one. Off Limits by George Batari. Rainbow book number 130, 1953. Artwork by you-know-who, George Gross. You can just see his signature just under the George Batari, just on the left there. couple of fellas. Looks like a sort of Coney Island type effect, doesn't it? Got like a fun fair on the street and shooting targets. She's obviously a lady of the night, I would imagine, just guessing. I don't imagine for 1 minute she's just finished her shift at the library, and she's obviously looking for work, and I think she might have a couple of interested customers. But anyway, that's the last one in the Rainbow series. Hope you've enjoyed it. That's the full set, and hopefully you can try and go out there and find them yourself. Very tough to find, especially in good condition, but good luck. It took me a while to get my set, and I love every single one of them. So I hope you've enjoyed it. The insight into Rainbow books from New York, digest books, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, hope to see you all again soon for my next instalment. I don't know what it's going to be. It'll be a surprise for all of us. Anyway, check us back soon. Comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.